All right, welcome to Revit 2019 Demo 19. We're going to open up Demo 18 and continue where we left off, creating slab foundation plan. So we're going to go into level 1, and one thing to note right off the bat is that the wall that's being called out for initially is not created yet, so we have to create that wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of our exterior walls except for this front garage wall. And we're going to change this type initially to an exterior stone. And once we've selected that exterior stone, we're going to edit the type of the stone of the wall, and we're going to duplicate this value. We're going to call it the value that's being called out for in the lecture, which is 5/8 GIP 5.5 standard 5/8 plywood, so ply to clap. And so we're going to hit OK, and we're going to edit the structure, and we just want to make sure that we have 5/8 GIP, which is going to be on the inside. So there's the 5/8 GIP. We have a vapor retarder, which is fine. We have our structure of timber C24 at 5.5, so that's good. Plywood's good. We don't want this air barrier in here, so we're going to delete this air barrier out. And we're going to change this to a clapboard, which I'm not sure if we have clapboard in here, but we're going to look for it. So we're going to just kind of scroll through this list and see if we can find some siding. And if we can't find it, we will pick something different. Yeah, I don't see clapboard. So I do see chipboard, but that's not what we want. Let's try typing in siding clapboard. That's what we want, is siding clapboard. We're going to use the render appearance, and we're going to hit apply. And so this one is going to be 2 inches. It's 2-inch material. And we can preview the wall to see what this looks like here. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So we have our gypsum, vapor retarder, standard, the 3/4 sheathing, which we actually want to be 5/8. So we'll change that to 5/8. And you'll notice that that updates the wall, and we'll hit OK. And so we have Gallatin, space dash space, 5/8 GIP, 5.5 standard, 5/8 ply, 2-inch clap. And we're going to hit OK. And once we hit OK, it'll load for a second because it's creating that wall type. And now we've got that set. So we'll just view that in 3D. And it did update the other values above, and that's fine. But for now, and the reason why it's changed from purple to this is because we used the rendering appearance. That's why the walls are no longer purple. But that's okay. That's what we wanted. So we're going to go back to level 1. And in section 4, we're going to pick the first floor. So we're going to go into, and when I say section 4, it's actually going to be in our project browser, building section 4. And so we're going to select floor 1, which is this one. And we want to change it to a generic 12-inch. So we're going to change it to a generic 12-inch. And we're going to pick the generic 12-inch and go to Properties, Edit Type, and Duplicate. And we want to name it 5-inch conch slab and hit OK. And we're going to edit the structure to be a 5-inch concrete slab. And we can put concrete cast in place. So we'll just type in concrete up here. My cap locks is on. That's why that's doing that. We're going to choose this one. And we're going to hit OK. We'll use the rendering appearance. Hit apply. OK. There it is. Hit OK. Hit OK. And now we'll notice that our floor is thinner. We'll also notice that our building's floating, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So now the floor is thinner. So if I zoom in, you can see that it's quite a bit thinner. If I change my detail level to fine, you'll notice the fill pattern within side of the concrete. And I can set my thin lines and see a little bit more of what's going on. And so now I want to do a footing as a sweep. So we're going to go to floor plan level 1. And in floor plan level 1, we want to prepare for the sweep process. So we need a section at the first line of the path. So we're going to create a section. We're going to move this section back a hair. And we're going to create just a wall section right here. And it's just going to be a standard section. So we'll go architecture. Actually, we can just go to our quick access bar up here and hit section. You could go to annotate, or sorry, view section, but we want to go up to the quick access bar in this particular example. And we'll go ahead and draw out a section. I'm creating a building section, but that's fine. And just for now, we want to go roughly half the way up this wall, just for now, just for depth. And then we want to go into that section, and we'll take a look at this, and we can adjust this view level to be fine again, so it gives us a little bit more detail. We're going to go to architecture, component, model in place, and what we want to do is we want to find the family category of structural foundations. So structural foundations, and hit OK. And we're going to name this EXT FTG, exterior footing, and hit OK. The first thing we're going to do is create a solid sweep. Creates a 3D shape by sweeping a 2D profile along a path, sketch a path and a profile to create the sweep. So we're going to go ahead and hit sweep. We want to sketch the path. So we're going to pick a plane, which currently we don't have. So in order to do that, what we want to do is we want to pick a plane to sketch a path. We want to do it along the top floor. So we're going to go to level 1 and we're going to sketch path. And when we're in level 1 sketching the path, we can just draw from the edge. So we're going to create a magenta line around the building. So we can either A, sketch the path, or we can B, pick lines. And it's probably best if we pick lines, but notice that this is the work plane, so that's the sketch plane of where we're going to sketch that profile. But we're going to start from this bottom left corner and work our way around. And I'm just tab selecting the exterior walls. It didn't trim these together, so I can do that. I can type in TR and trim it. And I can continue along by continuing to draw. So I could hit escape twice, drag this, type in SE as I'm clicking through, and it'll snap to an endpoint. It's only going to snap to that endpoint. So we'll go ahead and pick line again, tab to this outside wall line, if it'll let me. Doesn't appear to be letting me right now. Oh, there it is. So just finding another area, trimming those, and we're slowly getting our profile boundary. So I'm going to pick another wall, this one, trim those together, and just keep working my way around. So I'm just going to pick a wall, and then I'm going to trim those together. And then I'm going to pick another wall, which is this wall, and we'll go to here, and we'll trim this side and this side together. Now once that's done, it's all selected. The concrete footing does not go to the face of the wall. It goes to the face of the core. So that's why I selected the face of the core. I didn't select the face of the wall. So you can actually move these if you selected the wrong wall, and it'll snap to different areas of that wall. So once you get it to the core like we have it, we've done it correctly. The garage is all wrong because it drops, but we will deal with that later because we're just trying to understand what's going on with this sketch. We're going to set the material to concrete cast in place gray. So we can select the ... here and select the concrete cast in place gray. It's the same as the slab. We're going to hit finish, and now that path is completed, but we're not done. We have to create a shape for the sweep. So it's a profile. So what we have to do is we have to edit the profile. So there are predefined profiles here. So you'll notice that there's slab edges and other profiles, but what we're going to do is we're going to edit the profile, and we're going to switch to section 5, which was that building section that we drew. And you'll notice that our work plane is set up. So once the work plane's set up, we want to draw this down to be 2'6", and then we want to draw it over to be 1 foot. And we're going to just kind of go and create a ballpark slab edge. So I'm just roughly defining the shape. And once that's in place, we're going to set the display to medium. It can be medium or fine. And we'll go ahead and make sure that the material again stayed where we're at, which it did. And we're going to hit finish, finish, finish. And now what you'll notice is it's not joined. So we want to join this edge to this edge. So we'll hit join, and we'll join these two together. And now we have that thickened slab edge. Now if I view this in 3D, you'll notice that we have that swept around the entire base. So this is a great way to create a footing for the building, and it also connects the building to the bottom of the topography. So that's important. Now what we want to do is we want to hide the topo, so we're going to hit VH. I'm going to go ahead and delete the stair because it's irrelevant now. And you'll notice that we have that thickened edge. If I go to HL, it's a little clearer. And so cutting a section anywhere, you will see the slab foundation correctly. So if we go to level 1, go back into this, it's updated all my other sheets as well. So for now, go ahead and save this as revit2019demo19, and I will see you in the next lecture. So save as project demo 19, and you're all done.